This game sucks. It has to. I barely remember owning it. I think I had it for like maybe a day. I mean, God, I don't even remember it being Gremlins 2. I thought it was just Gremlins. But everyone says how great it is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a hated gem. So Gremlins 2 was a game that I think I got for Christmas or my birthday in '91, or I had to look at my game journal and see that, oh, I did have Gremlins 2. Because I've seen footage of this game and I don't remember playing it at all. The only thing I remember about Gremlins 2, or Gremlins, was that there was metal grates, and for some reason, I couldn't get very far in it at all. I couldn't get far at all. The metal grates is the only thing I remember about this game. So, I didn't like it. I traded it in with a bunch of my Game Boy stuff, Werewolf, some other things, and we got our Super NES, and I never looked back. But lately, especially that I've gotten more and more in the retro scene, I hear people talking about how Gremlins 2 is amazing. It's excellent. And now that there's this challenge on it, I figured, well, let's give it a shot. And turning it on, immediately the music was, oh god, that music already had me thinking, man, I made a mistake. This game's gonna be sick. So it's a platforming isometric game, but it's a very precise platformer. It's pretty forgiving though with the jumps. You can avoid enemies by jumping, which it's a game where you want to jump a lot. I realize that's the strategy on a lot of the boss fights too, is jump, 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 and that's the only way you're gonna get through it. But I liked it. I liked it immediately. The first stage, you start off, you have tomatoes, and then in each progressive stage after that, you get a new weapon that replaces it. And there's little hidden dojo areas where the guy who sells the gremlin in the first movie will sell you items, and you can buy an extra life, because you start with 0 lives. Once you die, you continue, but it's game over. So you can buy extra lives, you can buy power-up, which makes your shot go from 1 shot to a triple shot or more, and you can also get an extra heart, so instead of 3 hearts, you'll have 4, and then there's also a heart potion, but I think that only fills you up 2.5 hearts or something like that. That's by far the weakest one. Each one of the enemies drops a crystal, and the crystals are the currency you use to buy stuff. You can also get a balloon, and the balloons, I didn't really buy the balloons, but I can really see the usefulness of them, because if you fall down into a pit, instead of taking damage from you, you float back up on the balloon, and essentially you can skip hard sections of the game while using it. So it's just, I'm not a speedrunner, but I can see why this game's probably well regarded, because it's a pretty short game. It's only 5 levels, but there's a lot of speedrunning potential in it, I can imagine. And as far as doing a 1 credit clear, I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but it was not a over-the-top challenging game. I was able to beat it with a dedicated sitting, probably in 2 to 3 hours, but never was I really frustrated during that time, because they give you stuff like the balloons, they give you generous amounts of continues, there's no one and done, there's even a password system, and the password system uses 4 letters, which this game is very well put together, and it's Sunsoft. And I loved Lemmings. Sunsoft has always been a company that I'm not too familiar with, but I like the few games that I did play by them, and I really don't know what I didn't like about this game as a kid. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's very precise platforming, and the first starting weapon with the tomato is super weak, and you're not fighting any gremlins, so maybe it's that. I don't know. I don't know what I didn't like about it, but I like it now. It's really good. It's definitely, I can't even think of anything negative. It's well put together, the music's great, the enemy types are varied, you don't see the same enemies throughout the game. Each one of the boss fights I felt was a pretty big challenge. The electrocution boss was probably the one that gave me the most trouble, but just all in all, it's a really nice little put together game. I liked it. As far as it being a hated or a gem, it's a gem all day long. I can see why people love it. It's awesome.